Vincenzo Montella has masterfully guided Turkey to play exceptional knockout football in Euro 2024, discovering their form just in time for the competition. Under Montella's leadership, Turkey have showcased their prowess in a thrilling round of 16 tie versus Austria, securing a crucial victory and advancing to the quarterfinals. Here is how you can replicate successfully Montella's tactical approach in FC24. Starting off with the formation being set to a 4-2-3-1 system and shape. Now, we have seen throughout the entirety of the Euros finals that they have deployed this system, except for the round of 16 tie versus the likes of Austria. Now, this was more so because Çalhanoğlu was missing from the game, and it was also to try and prevent the Austrian side from just having their way on the offensive end, looking to flood runners forward, looking to try and pick up those runners in those defensive areas. And it does show a nice pragmatic approach from the manager himself. But more so, on a more regular basis, you will see them deploy a 4-2-3-1. This will have a lot of interchange in the midfield zones, creating a lot of wide overloads. At times, you will often see the likes of Arda Güler drifting inside, combining very nicely with Kokaçu and even the likes of an Ayhan or Çalhanoğlu in certain moments. The wider left midfielder also being able to drift out wide as well as come inside and effectively look to overload and overwhelm the opposition midfield. The tactical approach of Vincenzo Montella is all about balance, looking to try and adapt to the opposition, looking for them to, at times, be able to sit back, compact their structure, make it very difficult for the opposition to go ahead and try and break them down, like Austria were struggling to do on many occasions in the round of 16 tie. Against Georgia, we saw them express themselves on the offensive end, looking to string passes together, looking to overwhelm and overload on the offensive end. So these tactics will more or less allow you to implement the various different styles and approaches that we have seen from this Turkey team. Now, the defensive style is going to be set to pressure on heavy touch. We have seen that they are quite happy to sit back in their shape and press and probe every now and then. And against the better teams, the teams that are going to try and dominate possession, you could say, I would suggest moving it to a drop back system and shape, and then occasionally having one of your forward players try and press and probe and maybe cause a mistake. But on the regular, I would more or less allow it to be set to pressure on heavy touch. It will still allow you to maintain your shape and your structure, but it will also allow for the occasional press to occur. The other defensive settings will be set to a 40 team width as well as a 55 team depth, which can definitely decrease and drop to a deep block at times. And I would suggest you could drop this down to anywhere between, I would say, 30 and maybe 25. More so 25 if you want to try and definitely create that deeper line, making it very difficult for the opposition to maybe fit those through balls or those over-the-top passes into potential runners in behind your back line. But for the time being, I would set it to 55. It does create a nice, solid mid-block approach that can help on both the offensive end as well as the defensive end of things. The offensive outlet for this team will be as follows. The bullet play will be set to maintaining a balanced approach, allowing them to maintain their shape and structure. If they do turn the ball over, they'll more or less always be in their more natural defensive shape. But at the same time as well, it incorporates the slow build-up, the fast build-up, as well as the long ball approach, where you will see the likes of Hakan Çalhanoğlu getting on the ball at a deeper rate and spraying those longer passes into the forward line. And those forwards will consistently look to make those aggressive attacking runs into the space just in behind your back line. And this does help when you are looking to invite the pressure from the opposition, looking for them to flood men forward, and therefore opening up a lot of space in their backline for your three forwards or maybe even your front four at times to go ahead and exploit. At the same time, like I said, against Georgia, they were quite happy to try and express themselves playing out from the back, looking for that slower build-up to occur where they did have a lot more possession and they were looking to more or less string together those passing sequences in the midfield out wide. So you want to also incorporate that whilst also allowing them to incorporate the fast build-up, the quick transitions that we have seen from this team. The chance creation will be set to forward runs, as you do tend to see them when they do have possession, whether it's against a team that's looking to dominate possession themselves or just in general against a team that's looking to sit back. You will consistently see them flood players forward, looking to overload and overwhelm in that final third area. A lot of the time, though, you will also see their offensive outlet does stem from the wider areas, looking to try and overload in those wider sections, with the wingers and the fullbacks looking to combine very effectively with some of the central midfielders. They'll often look to try and stem together offensive movements from those wider areas and then look to work the ball into the central zones, which is why the players in the box will be set to 6, allowing for at least 3 players to be in and around the box while still maintaining a good presence of players around the area in case the ball is lost and the opposition will maybe go ahead and look to try and transition against your side. And then finally, people, the corners and the free kicks should be set to 4. For the roles and the instructions, starting off at the back with the goalkeeper, he'll be set to maintaining a balanced approach for both saving on crosses as well as saving outside of the box. That save in the 93rd minute versus Austria from the header from, I think it was Baumgartner, was absolutely sensational. Cat-like reflexes, and you will tend to see him more times than not staying on his line and looking to make similar saves just like so. You are also going to be playing either a mid block or maybe even a deeper block at times, so you don't really require him to be off of his line and very proactive and reactive. At the same time as well, we have seen that he does provide a nice mixed outlet, whether it comes to the saving on crosses where he can be a bit more aggressive at times, or look for the centre backs just in front of him to try and deal with the aerial threats. You'll see here for your two centre backs in Demirel, as well as this man right here. I'm not going to try and pronounce his name, but he is absolutely sensational as a player, as a defender, as one of the leaders of this team. And both of them will be set to maintaining a balanced approach for their tactical instructions. They're also quite good at being able to play from the back, whilst also looking to show a good defensive structure to the side, making sure that it's very difficult for the opposition to potentially fit players and attackers in between the lines, looking to try and exploit this backline area. The two fullbacks in the system and shape do have slightly differing roles. Both will be very attacking, which can at times leave you slightly exposed at the back. So with the forward runs also being set on, you will tend to flood attackers forward and attacking players into those wider spaces like your fullbacks and Kadioglu as well as Muldu. And both of them will be set to join the attack. You want them up the field looking to try and string together passes and passing passages of play with the wider players. And for your right back, he will be set to overlap. You want him consistently looking to overlap down that wider right space, looking to generate a lot of the width in the attack. Whereas the role of Kadioglu, he will be set to join the attack as well, looking to get forward. But his run type will be set to mix, allowing him to either invert or alternatively overlap at times. We have also seen that during the qualification rounds, as well as, you know, the group stages of Euro 2024, he was quite happy to have a nice mixed role, whether it was, you know, working in the midfield areas or alternatively looking to work in those wider zones. The two defensive midfielders that have been consistently picked so far in the Euros has been Ayhan as well as Çalhanoğlu. Now, they do resemble similar roles and instructions, but with a slight twist and variation to them. Now, Ayhan will be set to cut passing lanes, just like Çalhanoğlu, having that nice zonal approach, looking to try and stifle any offensive build-up or rhythm the opposition are trying to generate in the central zones. We do see Ayhan have a bit more freedom to play as a box-to-box midfield, looking to string together a few more passes in the final third zones, but he can also look to help the defensive end and also help the likes of Çalhanoğlu on the defensive phases of play in the midfield zones. The positioning freedom will be set to drift wide, and we do tend to see him quite a bit looking to drift into that wider left channel, looking to add an extra passing option if they are looking to overload down the left flank. And then finally, you also want him to try and cover the wider areas of the field. We see here with the role of Çalhanoğlu, he does have a slightly more defensive behavior and style of play, looking to sit a bit deeper at times and just run the midfield. So you want him to stay back while attacking, although with the forward runs being set to on, you will definitely see him on the odd occasion make a slightly more aggressive attacking run just on the edge of the box, but he will get forward every now and then. You want him to be the deep lying playmaker, looking to be a very effective piece in the build-up play, especially in that first phase build-up, looking for him to get on the ball and try and dictate the tempo of the game. He is very much the tempo setter for this team. He can look to get on the ball, play those short passes in the midfield, set the tone, or alternatively get on the ball and spray those longer passes into the attacking, aggressive, very fast and very pacey forward line. Your attacking midfielder will be the likes of Kokachu. Now, for his role and instructions going forward, the defensive support as well as the support on crosses will both be set to balance. He does tend to get into the box every now and then, but he can also look to stay on the edge of the area, looking to combine quite nicely and frequently with the other midfield players just in and around him. We'll also see him quite often drift into those wider spaces, looking to create those offensive overloads in the wider areas, always looking to provide an extra passing option for the wide attackers. And then finally, the interception should be set to normal. With Yildiz on the left and Güler on the right, it's safe to say that Turkey have their wider options set for years to come. Now, for the role of Yildiz down the left-hand flank, he will be instructed to come back on defense and always looking to help the likes of Kadioglu on the defensive end. Now, also, we tend to see quite a lot of this free roaming ability to occur, this very fluid movement in that, further forward front four area. So you want him to be set to free roam, and this can allow him to drift inside, combine quite nicely with Kokachu, at times who will be looking to overlap and overwhelm down the left-hand side and switch places with him in certain moments. And you will also see a similar relationship and style of play with the likes of Arda Güler. So you want him to be set to free roam as well as maintaining a balanced support. This will allow him to both be allowed to use his pace and get in behind and penetrate the backline, which we have seen quite a bit from Yildiz down the left-hand side, but we also want to see some good combination play with this side, especially if you are looking to dominate proceedings and the style of play. So essentially using the come short approach will also help, but that's why we've set it to balance, incorporating both of these factors in his game plan. And then finally, the interceptions will be set to normal, paired up with the fact that you want him in the box, arcing his runs to the attacking zones in order to get on the end of those crosses or cutback situations and opportunities. Yilmaz will be the deciding factor in the fluidity of this team. You often see him running the wider channels, looking to supply extra passing options in those wider zones, as well as not really being a central focal point in the attack. He can be, and he can also look to use his pace, trying to exploit the opposition's backline, but we also see him at times dropping a bit deeper, playing almost as a false nine. Again, looking to combine quite nicely and effectively with the other midfielders, and this will help create that nice fluidity that we do see with this team. The interceptions will be set to normal, and you want him dropping back on defense, looking to drop into that defensive structure and make sure it's very difficult for the opposition to maybe find a pass into the central zones. And then finally, the role of Arda Güler, who will be set to come back on defense as well as maintain a free roaming role for the chance creation. Now we do see him drifting all over the place, as well as looking to drift a bit more centrally and link up with the likes of a Kokochu or Çalhanoğlu in those more central zones. You do see him get on the ball quite a lot and try and dictate the pace of play alongside Çalhanoğlu, but from that right flank area. Essentially as well, because the right back will be bombing further forward, you want the likes of Güler to drift inside a bit more, looking to try and, operate almost as a secondary number 10. And then finally, the interceptions will be set to normal, as well as the support on crosses will be set to stay on the edge of the box. And there we go, people. That is how I would successfully implement and replicate the likes of Turkey's tactics from Euro 2024 into FC24. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to smash the like button down below, subscribe, and do all that good stuff. Join the Discord server. We have started a Brom Squad Gaming Discord server where we chat everything football. I'm talking Euros, I'm talking Copa America, I am talking FC24. So if you guys are interested, the link will be down below in the description. Go ahead, click on it, and I will welcome you with open goddamn arms. Anyways, my ranking and rating for this system, I do like it a lot, and therefore I am going to give it a 7.5. I like the adaptability of it. I like the fact that you can, play a very good aggressive brand of attacking football, or alternatively, you can look to be a bit more pragmatic, drop back a bit more, and be a bit more defensively sound at times, especially if you are up against a team like Spain or maybe even an Austrian side who are looking to play some very good attacking football. So I do like the adaptability of the side. Anyways, you guys will have to let me know down below in the description, or sorry, in the comment section, what you think of these tactics. Anyways, until the next one, until the next time, I hope you guys have a smashing goddamn day. Smash the like button, and I'm out of here.